Another beautiful evening here in Cormierville, New Brunswick. It's about 18 degrees Celsius, around 65 Fahrenheit. It's clear, there's no wind. We have some moths waiting for us. Nothing to show you in the sky right now. Hello, Wolf. Nice to see you again tonight. Hi, Ginger. Thanks very much, Ginger, for being here. And I guess you're going to be typing tonight, so I'll do my best to speak clearly. Hi, Alyssa. Thanks for coming back. Chloe and JB, good evening to you. I'm hearing a porcupine calling. From the woods. It's hard to hear. The sound that they make, I think it's a courtship thing, but I'm not sure. It's like a Alyssa, you could just barely hear it. It's fairly close, but it's not really loud. Just called again. Anyway, let's get back to the moths. If the porcupine comes a bit closer or gets louder, I'll go back and see if we can get you to hear it. What do we have here? I'll turn your light on, Stuart. Light is on. See what color. Take this color here. I'm trying a little experiment tonight with a green sheet. I've draped a green sheet over part of the moth frame. I want to see if we can get better exposure of the moths and beetles and things with a green background than we can with a white. But anyway, let's start. I think this is a new one for us right here. And I believe this is a green marvel. Hey Dan, how are you tonight? Thanks for joining us. It's a beautiful, beautiful moth. Green marvel, actually like marvelous. Sorry for mumbling, Ginger. Hi, Brianna. Welcome. We're starting off with the green marble. Yep, that's it, Alyssa. he's gone. Oh, we have a nice sphinx moth here. Just dropped away. Here's a Baltimore moth that we've seen a few times. Not too shabby either. Baltimore snout. It's called the Baltimore snout moth. Our banded tussock moth. Wow, that's beautiful. See, I think already maybe just having a slightly darker background helps with the exposure of the moth, because this is the best view we've had of banded tussock moth, even though we've looked at a lot in recent nights. And Virginia tenucid. Yeah, Chloe, I think this is going to work. One thing I'm noticing is there aren't quite as many moths on the green cloth as there is on the white, but I've got the green over on the right side of the moth frame, and that's typically the side that has the fewest moths, so may not mean a thing. Here's a new one for us. Oh, am I going to remember this name now? I know I'm going to be stuck on this name. There are 2 or 3 species that look very, very similar. They're difficult to separate. But I can't even, sorry Ginger, I can't even think of the genus name for this. But we'll get it. I always think if I look at them long enough, then the neurons are going to connect and a name's going to pop into my head, but it just hasn't happened. Here's our beautiful tufted bird dropping moth. We've seen a number of times now. Gerald! Oh, there's a big fish fly. Come to see Gerald. Nice to see you, Gerald. I tell you, everybody's here. Oh, Alyssa had a fish fly in her house. Oh my God. I bet Liam didn't enjoy that. Here's our tufted bird dropping moth again. Got him outside before Liam saw it. Good. He would not have been impressed. White banded toothed carpet. And this is the olive angle shades. As I get settled down here, find it again. Here we go. This one's sort of a studying pale green and pink and beige. Olive angle shades moth. That's it, Ginger. Perfect. Big, I think it's a polyphemus moth. It's over on the other side of the sheet. Just take a quick look here on the shingles. That's a common Gluphisia moth. Yeah, listen, we were lucky to see two last night. In fact, we had two side by side. Here's one right here. I tried to do some screen grabs today, but I never got much done. But I'll certainly get a screen grab of the two polyphemus side by side. That's a streaked orange moth. Hi, Mary. Good evening. Great to see you. Thanks for dropping by. The fish fly for you. There's also polyphemus flying around here, Mary. Wants to say hello. There's our tufted bird dropping moth again, Mary. I think that probably is the darker one that we saw last night, which we decided was probably a female because it didn't have feathery antenna. It's flying around on down towards the ground here now. See if the name comes to me if I look at it from this side. Nope. Not coming tonight. Oh, got a big moth in my ear. I'm going to move this light in a little closer. Who's this? Looks like our friend from last night. No, it's not. This is just a dark common Gluphisia. Just give me a second here. Gerald says, Stu, I had one of your moths in my house yesterday, caught it up before my girls got to it, then loosed it outside. Long flight down. Good for you, Gerald. I spent a bunch of time getting ichneumon wasp out of the house tonight, but I got it safely outside. Seemed none the worse for wear. There's a couple of fish flies here. One's a whole lot bigger than the other. I don't know if they're sexually dimorphic when the males or females are larger than the other sex. But there's sure a big size difference here. One on the right has feathery antenna. Missing one of its antenna. This one, well, it has feathery antenna, but much less so than the other one. Have to check that out in Google. Here's a beautiful Virginia tenuta moth. Several Virginia tenutas tonight. Here's from last night. Remember the Isabella tiger moth? White-banded toothed carpet down below. Isabella tiger moth. Remember we had a look at the underwing. There's some spotting, some black spots on the underwing, and also black dots on the top side of the abdomen. There's an orange abdomen with black spots on top. Look at the nice orange-red forelegs. I don't know if you noticed that when she had her legs up. Look at the orange forelegs. Almost reddish. All right. See if we can get the camera to focus on that leg. The upper part of the leg. A little different looking than the ones we saw last night, but it's still a powder moth. Here's our black spotted glyph. That putty green patch on the back. Missing a part of his left wing. White triangle tortrix. Some kind of a bug. A true bug. Great blue heron was just calling. This is a slug moth. If I can find it for you. Here we go. It's pretty worn. This one is called the early slug moth. Slug moths in general tend to curl up their abdomen so that their abdomens stick out above their wings a little bit. I think you can see that here. And this species has kind of dark veins. The veins are darker than the rest of the wing. Early slug moth. Be very careful where I step. All right, let's take a look down here. common gluphisia. There's a nice mayfly of some kind. Here is brother moth. And what is this? Oh, this is Baltimore. Somewhere. There it is. Baltimore snowed again. That's our brother moth. Who else is hiding down here? Here's a neat looking caddisfly we've seen a few times. I looked that one up. It was easy to identify the species, but I've forgotten. I remember the genus is Banksiola. Banksiola, B-A-N-K-S-I-O-L-A. But I forget the species name. It's a pug moth of some kind. Cute little micro moth there in the genus Apodamus. This Virginia tenuta moth. Nice male. Grooming his antenna. Beautiful blue iridescence on the abdomen. Wow, that was neat. This is called, well, it's kind of a complicated name. It's called the quartered, quartered Oleuthrodes. Oleuthrodes is the genus it's in. Oleuthreutes, Oleuthrodes. And the first part of the common name is quartered, like a 1/4. That's it, quartered. Quartered Oleuthrodes. It's a new one for the stream. I'm sure you'll all remember that one. Apodamus. Oh, something's biting my left arm. Here is Morrison Pero. Here. Morrison's Pero, as in Jim Morrison. For all the Jim Morrison fans. Oh, this one, what is this? I know this one. I've seen it a few times. Not coming to me right away. It's a dart, some kind of a dart. I'll look it up. White triangle tortrix. I don't know if people are really interested in the names of these things or not. I'm wondering if I'm just wasting my time naming them all, but well, anyway, I'm interested in it, and maybe a few others are. But if you're not, I'm sorry. It must be kind of boring to listen to all that gibberish. You love it, Ginger? This is a powder moth again. The more we know, the better. Yeah, great. Ryan, hi Ryan. Great to see you. Anyway, if you find the commentary boring, just turn the volume down and listen to your favorite music. Oh, that was a green lacewing that just flew off there. Some kind of a leaf roller here. I'm not sure what species. These are tough, but identifiable with a decent photo. Here's our flame-shouldered dart that we see every night. Just give me a second. Brianna, you've seen lacewings? They're pretty common here at the lights. Green lacewings, and there are several species. We also get brown lacewings here as well. Robin Arona. Hi. Hi, Robin. I've been spoken with you for a long time. I think you're in Seattle, right, Robin? Anyway, wherever you're from, welcome. You like these moths? Great. Wow. I'm really happy to hear that. Oh, here's a pretty rare one. This is called a white spotted hedia. There are only a few records for New Brunswick. Yeah, this is a good spotting. Whoop, let it go. It was called white spotted hedia. Hedia is Hedya, and I've had a few at my lights over the years, like 4 or 5, but those are pretty much the only records for New Brunswick. Virginia tenucid moth. Pretty distinctive moth. If you're going to learn one, this is a good one to learn because it's actually more active during the day than it is at night. So it's a moth you quite frequently see on flowers during the day. There's one right here. Pretty distinctive with that kind of an orange head. Males have those feathery antennae. The wings are dark brown with a little white border on the tips of the wings, if you can see the white border. And then the abdomen, which is often hidden below the wings, and the back, the thorax, are nice iridescent blue. That dog that's barking is across the cove on Treasure Island. This is a true bug, some kind. bugs. Bugs are a separate order. They're not beetles, they're not flies, they're bugs, true bugs. And it's a very large group and pretty diverse, nicely marked groups, lots of colors, lots of patterns. Probably quite easy to identify most species, but they just haven't received as much attention as beetles have. And I haven't paid as much attention to them as I should have, so I don't know the names for most of them. Here's a new one for us. This one is called, it used to be called the unicorn looper. Unicorn looper, but it's got a new name now and I've forgotten what it is. But anyway, we'll find out what the new name is. It's a beautiful pattern. And these guys actually, most of the time when you see them, they're sort of standing up, but the wings and the abdomen are pointing up at about 45 degrees or even 60 degrees. And it's like they're trying to imitate a twig or the tip of a twig. So often you'll see them almost standing on their heads rather than laying flat like this one. Oh, sorry, got a mosquito. That's the dark form of the common gluphisia again. Here's our dark spotted palthus that we saw last night. Where'd it go? It's right here, Stuart. Look, there it is. Beside the Virginia tenuta, the dark spotted palthus. Pushed out of the way by that bug. It's a pug moth of some kind. It's a beautiful little micro moth. Dark spotted palthus, that's it, Ginger. How are we doing for time? Oh, we're only halfway through here. Let's see. Take a look along the edge. Flame shoulder. I get so many of these and I don't even know what they feed on, but it must be something I have in abundance in the yard because almost none of the other moth people in New Brunswick see them. Don't know what that one was. This is the sharp-angled carpet moth. Wow, I can't believe there are 20 people watching this. Gerald, my screen's saying 20 right now. Maybe I need glasses. Wow. Amazing. That's more than we get for the birds. That's a divided Olathrudes, but it's very worn and faded. Class is in session. Please, just in case you forget later, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. If you're enjoying it, if you're not, try another channel, I guess. This is a spruce bugworm moth. It's a micro moth. We saw one last night. And this is a species that is really considered a pest species for the forest industry. And actually, back in the 1970s, my first jobs, my first work paying jobs was working in areas in New Brunswick where they were spraying chemicals to kill the spruce budworm. And of course, you know, back in the 1960s, they were using DDT until they realized it was killing everything in the forest, every living insect, lots and lots of birds. So after years and years and years of doing that, they switched to other chemicals, and that's when I came on the scene. And in the 1970s, I was working on this spruce budworm spray program, monitoring bird populations in areas before and after they were sprayed. Oh, I just heard a sorrel call. Great blue heron. Okay, enough reminiscing, Stuart. Three-lined balsa. Three-lined balsa, the caterpillars feed on apple. Here's another beautiful tufted bird-dropping moth. Can't believe how many of these we're seeing. Tufted bird-dropping moth. Another banded tussock moth. And sharp-angled carpet on the right, white triangle tortrix. In the middle, sounds like a fight going on in the woods. Kind of sounded like raccoons fighting. That this thing with the long palps sticking out in front is in the genus Donacola. D-O-N-A-C-A-U-L-A. Donacola. You might hear our dog Nita doing her seal imitations again. This is a nicely patterned micro moth. This is in the genus Olathrudes, but I don't know what species it is. Hey Ryan, thank you so much for that donation. I really, really appreciate it. Super. When I hear Nita barking and I'm outside, most of the time it means that Jean-Marc is eating. Nita barks all the time when we're eating. This moth is really faded. I don't have any idea at all what that is. Let's go back to the green sheet. I see a large looper moth that we saw last night. Large looper, holding its wings up in a V sort of. Last night the one we saw had its wings straight out. This view gives us a view of the underwings as well as the forewings. There's some pink in there. I don't know if you can see it on your screens or not, but I sure see it on mine. Large looper. This is a fanfoot of some kind. We saw fanfoot last night. One thing I think I'm noticing is that the camera has a little more difficulty focusing on the insects on this green sheet. Fanfoots, I'm not sure where they got that name. They must have a fan-shaped foot, but I've never really noticed. They're in the genus Zanclognatha. I'm sure you wanted to know that. There's a bunch of them in New Brunswick. That's spelled Z-A-N, or for you in the U.S., Z-A-N, C-L-O-G, N-O-T-H-A, Zanclognatha. There's a cute little micro moth here. On. There's a large looper now with its wings closed. White triangle tortrix. We'll check the shingles here. This is an overexposed tufted bird-dropping moth. Yeah, Gerald, we missed Joe. You're right. I haven't heard from Joe since Monday morning. And if I don't hear anything from him in the next couple of days, I will certainly call him on Friday to see how he's doing. Oh, here's a nice moth. This one doesn't have much in the way of field marks, but you can see some lines, the right light, and those white spots. The back of the wings there, near the body. It's called the black arches. Black arches. First time we've seen this one. Not a very common moth. Great camouflage for these shingles, that's for sure. Mary asked about Joe and the card. Joe wrote to me right after I sent him the card, which would be a week ago or 10 days ago. And he said he was speechless and filled with joy when he read the card, among other things. So I think he really, he was really surprised that so many people cared, I guess. So I'm really glad we did that. And I forget who it was. Maybe it was you, Mary, said it would be nice if we could send him a card or something like that, just casually on the stream one day. And I thought, well, there must be an app for that or a website. And I did a search for group e-cards and found one right away. And it worked out really good. Hard to see things well here without using my card, so I'll move back to the sheet. See if anybody else. This looks like our friend the Pale Beauty we saw last night. Looks nice on that green sheet. Pale Beauty. This is a banded tussock moth that's shivering to get warmed up, getting ready to fly away. See, they have a nice yellow-orange abdomen. It's our dark spotted palthus. Didn't stay long. Oh, here's the, we've been looking at banded tussock moths. This is a spotted tussock moth. I think we've seen it once before. Yes, Wolf, when you see a moth doing that, almost always it means within a few seconds they're going to fly away. Sometimes they just have to shiver like that to get their wing muscles warmed up enough so they can take flight. So this is a spotted tussock moth. Beautiful, beautiful pattern. Right on, Gerald. Pre-flight check. You got her. Going through their checklist. Oh, who's this on my pants? Oh, it's on my pants and on my jacket. Banded tussock moths. Oh, here's a green leuconicta from last night that we saw last night. Green leuconicta. Beautiful moth. I don't know if you looked at the photo. I posted a photo on this stream. You might have seen it when you first came on, of the green leuconicta beside the poplar carpenter worm moth, two of the nicer moths we saw last night. Nobody new there. We've looked at all those. Looked at these. We've looked at this. Here's our spotted tussock moth from this side. Excuse me. And up here is our flame-shouldered dart, our fish fly. I think there are only 2 or 3 species of fish flies in New Brunswick, and I know there's one called spring fish fly and there's one called the summer fish fly. And I'm not sure if their flight periods overlap or not. I would assume this would be the summer, but I'm not sure. It's a Baltimore snout moth. Here's an ichneumon wasp. There are hundreds, if not a couple of thousand species of ichneumon wasp. The spruce budworm just came up behind it. Hundreds, anyway, of ichneumon wasps in New Brunswick. This one seems to be the most nocturnal. I see it at the lights more often than any other ichneumon wasp. Just give me a second here. I need to reinsert a Kleenex into between the iPad and the light so it doesn't bang. Like that. All right. Let me just take a moment here and show you how technical this operation is here. I forget where the camera is. Oh, the camera's right there. So basically, I'm holding an iPad, and the iPad has, I think it's a 4-inch ring light that I bought somewhere, probably on Amazon for $10 or $15. And the ring light and the iPad are both plugged into this cord for the iPad. This is the cord for the ring light. They're plugged into my pocket. And in my pocket, I have a power bank. I think this is a 20,000 milliamp hour power bank. This costs, I think I paid $27 for this. It'll run the stream, the bird stream, when I'm doing my bird stream. It'll power the cell phone for about 12 hours at this time of the year. In the winter, it's more like 7 or 8 hours in the cold weather. But it's a really good way to make sure you have a charged phone. And if you're doing a night stream like this, you want to make sure you have a good power source for your light. And that's it. I can walk around anywhere with this, as long as I stay within the Wi-Fi range of the house Wi-Fi. Our house is, well, there's no lights on. I guess Nita and Joe Mark turned the lights off. Our house is just over there, not very far. That's where the magic happens, yeah. That's it. And here, $30 ultraviolet fluorescent lamp, under like a cabinet lamp. $30 at Canadian Tire. My pole lamp with a 100 watt LCD bulb in it that only uses about 13 watts of energy. Pole lamp was $2 at a yard sale somewhere. And this was the most expensive thing in the whole setup. This was about $35, $40. 50 watt ultraviolet light. Once you've got those, and you don't need any more than the pole lamp with a light bulb in it. That's what I used for years, and I was happy as could be. Until people told me to get ultraviolet lights, and I'm seeing a few more. But then you just need a white sheet. You can buy them at a used clothing store for a few dollars. and you're all set. Take the white sheet and pin it. Just pin it to the wall of an old shed if you have one, or the side of your house. Or you can pull it over a frame. I have a wooden frame here that I have it pulled over, just so it can be taut. And you have amazing entertainment any night you want. You want an insect safari without leaving your yard. All right. Make sure I get the right color light here. And we'll take a final look. There's another unicorn. I was calling this a unicorn looper before, but it's actually a unicorn prominent is the correct name for this. Sorry. And this one's starting to do some head standing. He's getting there. It's only about 25 degrees. Sometimes they're almost perpendicular to whatever surface they're standing on. So unicorn prominent. And as I mentioned, they've changed the name of it, the common name. I don't remember what the newest common name is, but you can easily, if you looked up unicorn prominent, you'll find this moth. And powder moth, powder moth and powdered big wing together like we had seen them last night. This one is a white spring moth, one that just flew off. This is a red-footed snout moth. Those feet don't look very red to me. This is not sure what this is. No, I'm not sure on that one. I'll just assume it's something common that's very faded. Hang on a second here. I know we're just about finished, but I've got a big moth that went up my sleeve and it just came out. So all set. Here's our large looper again. So earlier we saw it holding its wings up in a V. We saw it with the wings out flat, out straight. Now he's got his wings folded in an inverted V, showing us all the presentations. Spotted tussock moth. There's our pale beauty. And I see a few odds and ends here, but nothing new. And one quick look over on this side. Another pale beauty here. Sorry. Tufted bird dropping moth. And the small one here on the green sheet is a codling moth. We've seen quite a few times. Fish fly. And I think that's an assassin bug. A little green bug there by the antenna, the fish fly's antenna. I think it's some species of assassin bug. Okay, well I think that's a pretty good showing for tonight. And our green marble is back again. We saw at the beginning of the stream. Okay, well thank you everyone. I can't believe the number of people that are still here, 15 people. And normally I would never end a stream with 15 people still watching. But I've got to try to keep this to an hour and get some sleep so I can get back at the streaming tomorrow. So thank you, everyone. Have a great night. Good night, Ginger. Really appreciate all the amazing typing you did tonight and all your great moderating today. It's such an amazing help for me. And Alyssa, too. Thank you so much for all your help on the channel. Gerald, glad you made her cross the creek. See you again soon. And I'll let you know if I hear from Joe. Dan, you're very welcome. Thanks for watching. Brianna, thank you so much. Chloe and JB, you're always here. Thank you immensely. Really do appreciate it. Good night, Mary. Thanks so much for being here. Nola. Nola is there. Good night, Nola. Really glad to see you. I hope I haven't missed anyone. If I have, I'm sorry. Robin. Thank you, Robin. I'm really glad to see you again. We'll see you all soon. Take care. And again, if you haven't hit the like button, I'd really appreciate it if you would. We'll see you down the road. I don't know if you can see. There are all kinds of moths flying around overhead. Good night. Bye-bye.